the kids to school. And whatever what do they say to you? You just go, oh, yeah, I went there, I did really well. I don't just go as a clown, though. I do go as other characters. I go as unauthorised Emma Wiggle. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's like the Lady Wiggle. She wears a little like yellow turtleneck and has red hair. I had to Google her and I found out that she's actually recently divorced the Purple Wiggle. Yeah, so that's weird. It's like I don't want to have to like field questions on that. She's also a professionally trained ballet dancer, so that is the expectation when I turn up to the kids' parties. So I'm there being like, and the kids are looking at me like, Emma must be sick. But like they want to believe, they really want to. They squint their little eyes and they look at me and they're like, are you really Emma Wiggle? And I'm like, yeah, like, why would you think I wasn't? And they're like, well, why are you wearing a wig? And I'm like, that's a really personal question. I've actually just been through a divorce. It's fine. My parents are actually divorced, which is cool because growing up I actually didn't really see them giving each other that much affection, except for one time when Dad put his arm around Mum, but that was because he was reversing the car. The weird thing about kids' entertainment, right, is that it prepares you for comedy. Because, like, kids are the worst hecklers. And the worst part is, you know it's true. So the other day I turned up to a party and I was like, hey kids, it's me, Pippi the Clown. And this kid just goes, you're not a real clown, you're just an old human. Wow. Which begs the question, like, what is a real clown? So I looked that up too. And it turns out that actually the first clowns originated in ancient BC in Egypt. In 4000 BC. And that they were played by the same person who was like the town priest. Which is weird because like clowns and priests, I can't think of two characters that should stay away from children more. I've actually had a really good week this week. I've been looking after my mum's dogs and I've been doing such a good job. I was like, I think I'm ready to be a mum. And so I started like weighing up the pros and cons, like the difference between taking care of dogs and taking care of children. And I was like, well, the thing about dogs is like, it's great, like you can leave them at home whilst you're doing a gig. And like the thing is with children, like you can't like feed them on the ground at a cafe without someone having a word. And I was like, will a dog push you in a wheelchair when you're old? I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Huskies pull sleds all the time. Just stay on the pill and get 6 dogs. I went on a date recently, right, with this guy, and it seemed like he was perfect. I mean, he was Brazilian, which is cool. He's a model, like, well, an ex-model, it's fine, none of us is perfect. And he's also an oncologist, like a cancer doctor. And I was like, well, how'd you get into that? And he's like, oh, my dad's one. And I was like, oh, really? I don't think you could, like, inherit qualifications. And he was like, no, you know what you can inherit? Cancer. I was like, whoa, okay. And then as if things couldn't get any worse, he's like, let's go to a park, and gets out some red wine out of a cheap Jacob's Creek bottle and says, you know, I would like to sing a song, and gets out a ukulele. And he goes, oh, what song should we sing? How about Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley? And I was like, okay, cool, this is only weird if you make it weird. And I kind of did it, and I started singing, and I was like, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. And like, these people are walking past like, what a cute couple. And I was like, save me. And then he's like, do you want to come back to my house? And I was like, no, I can't, sorry, I've actually got to go bowling. So I did that. And then, this is just a true story. And so then the next day he contacts me, he's like, do you want to come around to my place? And I was like, yeah, totally, I'd love to. And so I go around to his place and out comes the uke. And he goes, hey, what's your favourite song? And I panicked and went, oh, Baby One More Time. So he does it, and he's like being really cheeky. He's like, hit me, baby, one more time. And it was so awful that I had to stop him via makeout. And so I kissed him just to like take the ukulele away from him. And he was like, wow, that was really beautiful. What do you want to do now? Do you want to like watch some YouTube? And I was like, yeah. And so he gets up YouTube and gets up videos of him playing the ukulele. And now when people say to me like, oh, have you ever had a Brazilian? I just scream and start like scanning the room for ukes.